So, what is the solution for healing? It is honesty. The world sees honesty as something that you portray of yourself. But it's a deep journey, deep within, where you no longer want to hide your concepts and your knowing. To be a fool for love. The fool for love doesn't care, can't care. Now, to say I don't care doesn't mean I don't love. To love is everything, the truth of love. But the not caring is the vulnerable place that is no longer buying the lies of knowing and is no longer concerned with what is known or what has to be proven in the world. It can't be. It's not possible. The call for love is all-encompassing. And it's not glamorous, for sure. Thank God it's not glamorous. There's nothing in it that speaks to glamour. There's no presentation. There's no way of conveying I am this. Love will speak. Love will radiate. And love will heal. But the radiation of love has no glamour in it. It is a fool for love. When there is a place that touches your heart where you are actually so happy that you don't know, and you rest in that not knowing, it's breathtaking. Because the not knowing says, this being can't know that because I have not been there. There is nothing to know that I've made up because it's all made up. And to feel the joy of not knowing also says the wisdom of the universe, the knowing of the universe is intact. It's perfect. And in the not knowing, the heart and the mind opens to the wisdom of the universe because it has made room and it has rejoined the truth. Other than that, it's a journey of letting go and the happiness of that choosing. To accept the divine light that is within. to accept the beauty, the perfection, the exquisite light is a place of such exquisite humility. And no knowing goes with you. It leaves behind gladly all identity, because the identity has finally been seen for what it is, made up. And it becomes so painful to even have a conversation with knowing, seeking out others that you can have those conversations with and meet in the knowing becomes painful. Not because beloveds are painful, but because every word that comes is like a vibration that doesn't fit anywhere. When you are with beloveds that are still in the dream, in totality, that is the place of such a deep possibility of offering. Because their knowing is intact in their minds. And how do you meet them? How do you offer love when they're not looking for it? How do you offer peace and harmony when they have no intention of anything but what's on sale down the street or what's coming up next? And you're called to learn by bringing love. And you don't even see how it's possible that you could bring love. But if you enter the not knowing, the army of love comes to join you and show you the way. Because the army of love wants you to be the totality of what you truly are, and wants to always help to facilitate, to activate your true nature. It's this perfect harmony that is always available. If you think you know, then it's not available, because you've interjected made up thinking. And that beautiful opportunity of learning has been put aside. That's all you can do, is put it aside, because it can't be squished, can't be squashed, but it can be put aside. And when you put it aside, it's basically saying, I don't want my knowing messed with. I want it to stay like I've known it to be. This is where faith is so essential, because the faith will take you past the habits, the insanity of I want it thus, and will open to a new way, the way of love. And the way of love has no relationship to the knowing. It just has no connection. One is made in insanity, and one is created by love. And they don't have any relationship. There's no hatred of the knowing. It just doesn't serve anything at all. Why do beloveds seek out others who know? It's fear. It's a fear that says, I can be with the knowing and feel right at home with that knowing. It is actually a place of tremendous healing when you're no longer at ease with meeting the knowing. When you can't say the words anymore, I know that one, I know that, I can do that, I can do that, I know that. When it becomes painful because you're not touching into love, harmony, peace, joy. And you're not offering peace and harmony and joy. And yet love keeps calling to remember, all through faith in the divine light of God. Can someone come home without faith? I can't imagine how that would be possible. The ego is so diligent on its knowing that faith would be the only thing that could really break through. Faith of love. Faith in the universe that is perfect and whole and complete. Beyond what you think you see is the world of harmony and peace. That every beloved is exactly that. The light of God. Just haven't forgotten, but still the light of God. And the question becomes, do you want everyone to remember? Do you want to be that catalyst of love that brings your own faith, your own light, your own peace to every beloved? Or do you separate out the ones that aren't ready or whatever, and you join them instead of bringing love to them? When their souls are saying, please, please, let your love radiate, and they will receive it every moment. The light of love is calling to be offered through the not knowing, through love. There's a prayer that speaks to this very beautifully. Thank you, God, for this sanctuary is filled with your presence. I thank you for I live and move within you. I thank you for I live in your life force, truth, health, prosperity, peace, wisdom, happiness, and love. I thank you for all who enter here will feel your presence. I thank you for I am in harmony, love, truth, and peace with all beings. I thank you. So we say this prayer in this setting because there's a permission for it. Can you stand on a street corner and offer this prayer? Can you go to the house of every beloved that says, not interested, and hold this prayer? Hold this prayer and even maybe express this prayer if it's called for. Or do you hide your faith and your devotion from some because they may not approve? That's the game of the knowing. You believe you know that some may not approve. You believe you know that some have different opinions. But do you leave your prayer at the door when you enter, or do you take it with you? And bring it into whatever space it is and fill that space with your faith, with your intention of offering love. It isn't necessarily saying this prayer out loud, but it is having it in your heart in every moment and not being shy about your faith, not being shy about your calling. It's not having to stand and proclaim it, but it's also not stepping into knowing and living another type of existence, but letting the truth that you carry in your heart be with you always. To have that faith that whoever you are with is purposefully with you to receive the truth of love that you carry. That there are 100 ways of expressing love that they can receive. It's not about challenging anyone. It's about letting them recognize the faith within you that leads you in your life. And that they can begin to see the peace and harmony and joy that you are. Not putting out an act, but that it's your genuine heart. And that when you don't know and you don't join in the knowing with anyone, that is a blessing for them. It opens a door for them to see another way that they may not have seen before, or even, but they begin to see and feel your peace because it's just is, and because you carry it with you everywhere you go. I thank you for this sanctuary is filled with your presence. I thank you for I live and move within you. I thank you for I live in your life force, truth, health, prosperity, peace, wisdom, happiness, and love. I thank you for all who enter here will feel your presence. I thank you for I am in harmony, love, truth, and peace with all beings. It's such a pure offering, your peace, your harmony, your truth. But it's a leap of faith. It's a leap of faith not to join in the old agreements that say, oh, I'm just going to pretend and do this like this. But finding that place within that is still honoring the truth that you carry and offering it ever so gently to every beloved. Not as a proselytizing, no standing on a soapbox, just your peace, your gentleness, your love, your kindness. And the truth of your faith. I thank you. That no matter who you're with, you're in gratitude for your faith, for your journey, for what is real. And being happy that it is so. I'm just going to read these words. I call upon my Master. Whenever I am sick, I receive my strength from the Almighty. I raise up my own banner. I show my worth to all, walking on my path, the path that the Master showed. When I am here to say that my mother and father are here with me, always. I am a child of this great truth, and I am here to affirm the truth of peace and harmony and joy as this world of illusion falls away. I call upon my Master. I raise up my own banner is the key. It isn't about making a statement of, I'm like this, but when you raise your banner, you're really saying, this is what I have chosen and this is what I am called to, and I must live this in all ways. I raise my banner. I plant my banner. I don't play games with the illusion, and I don't try to prove what I know. I call upon my Master. Whenever I am sick, I ask for strength. The strength of healing is not of the body. The strength of healing is the spirit. When you are no longer attached to the body identity And you can find the strength and the healing that your spirit is calling for, that you're bringing your spirit to life, that you're letting your spirit be everything, because it is everything. It's the light of God. And I receive that strength from the truth of God in every moment, in every day. This one I may sing. I am light. I give light, and I make everything shine. I see my divine Father, and I see where the power comes from, and I affirm it. The force of God is with me. I speak in the presence of the power of love. I do, my divine Father, I do whatever you ask of me, and I want everything to be healed. The eternal love I inscribe upon my heart. From you I have received all teaching, and I offer it to all beloveds. This is what my beloved God has asked of me. In the presence of this power, I bring love and light to all. Sou luz, dou luz e faço tudo iluminar. Vejo meu Pai nas alturas e o poder onde está. A força está comigo, falo perante o poder. Faço o que eu te pedes e quero ver e merecer o amor eterno. Gravei no coração, de você recebemos, para te expandir para meus irmãos. Assim que me pequei perante este poder, não faça-me que ele pede, a todos querer merecer. I am light. I give light. Is this your intention when you are with every beloved? To offer light. To offer light and allow the divine to speak through your heart and offer peace and harmony to each beloved. That's all that love is, just to offer peace and harmony. But it's everything. It's everything, and it must be everything. I must love. I must love with all my heart, because it's all that's real, all that's true. The great work. Love is the great work, though every heart is first an apprentice that slaves beneath the city of light. This wondrous trade, this magnificent throne your soul is destined for, you should not have to think much about it. Is it not clear? The apprentice needs a teacher who himself has charmed the universe to reveal its wonders inside his cup. Happiness is the great work. Though every heart must first become a student to one who really knows about love. And again, love is the great work. And the teacher must be found And then it becomes, there's only one way in that world of love, to learn. And what would it be? What would it be to be with beloveds that in the past you wanted to impress and give them your knowing because it's so important? And instead you're conveying that you're here to learn. You're just here to learn the truth of love. What happens to all the thoughts? What happens to all the knowing when you are here to learn? How can you learn and know? You can't. You can't. You only have one master, one truth. It's either learning or it's knowing. And the mind offers nothing. That's the most amazing element, is that it doesn't offer anything. It doesn't offer. Whatever anybody, we've all been there, whatever it was that was so diligently learned of how to be in your identity, it's the unlearning, completely the unlearning. And there's nothing greater than I don't know. I don't know. Because all of creation jumps at the chance when you are in that not knowing to serve you in remembering. It's all that every divine being is ready for love, ready for truth. The great work. Love is the great work. It doesn't say here, math is the great work, even though math could be used by love. But love would be the great work. It doesn't say anything about learning to be a good worker, or even in the world's sense, but that to do service through love, it's the great work. Love is the great work, though every heart is first an apprentice that slaves beneath the city of light. Slaves beneath the city of light. And why does every apprentice slave beneath the city of light? It's a place of allowing that whatever anything looks like, you still don't know anything because it's all perfect. Whatever shows up, it's perfect. Over and over again, the teachings are about there's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. There's no light or dark. Well, how do you live with that? No good, no bad, no light, no dark. They're not just words that are being said. It's actually that everything has the power within it of learning, if you're willing to learn. To not want to learn is the painful place. When the mind says, Don't mess up my knowing. Don't mess it up. I have a way. I am the decider. There's just no healing there. But if you can go down to slave beneath the city of lights, then it's like, okay, this is not what I anticipated, but it must be perfect because this is where God has me be. This is where healing is, because this is where I am. And this is what is showing up. As soon as that awareness opens, deep healing can occur, because there's no more knower. There's no more, I'm in charge. I know what I'm doing. I know how I want it to be. It's this beautiful place that you never even thought that you would want to be there. A slave beneath the city of lights. But to be healed of all ideas of good or bad, right or wrong, likes and dislikes, light and dark, is to be free. Because then everything is a blessing. It's all a blessing. As that master that I sat with said, your house burns down, ha. Your partner leaves you, ha ha. You lose your job, ha 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 ha. Why? Because he's a masochist? No, because once you realize that everything has a blessing within it and a learning and is perfect, you can laugh at it all because it's all perfect. And it's no longer that you are having to protect yourself in any way through your knowing. And make no mistake, knowing is defense. That's all that it is. It's not an attribute that that's been developed and God is cruelly wanting to take it away. It's truly a defense system that is a place of pain. The peace and freedom of not knowing is like heaven on earth, because you're so free, and that is what you're looking for. That's what you truly are, is freedom. Freedom from your own ideas and opening to the light of God. Only your allegiance gives the ego any power over you. Allegiance. What is allegiance? It's knowing. And it's a power that the ego has over you. When you want, in essence, to be free of the ego mind that is so painful, and yet your allegiance. It's only the allegiance that says, I know I'm right. I'm right. I gave a beloved a teaching the other day, and it was, all you have to do is remember that you would rather be happy than right. Because what do you think you're right about? Everything? Primarily? Or you wouldn't think that your mind was very, very great, but you think you're right if it's in your mind. And yet, it's all being called to just let it go. This wondrous trade, this magnificent throne your soul is destined for. Is it not clear? An apprentice needs a teacher who himself has charmed the universe to reveal its wonders inside his cup. How does that occur? It really is through not knowing. The universe opens. And when you're listening to the guidance of love, those are the mysteries of the universe. That is your own guide coming to you and offering you the mysteries of the universe. What else could anybody want but the mysteries of the universe? The thing is that when you open to the mysteries of the universe, it doesn't pay off like the ego tries to pay off. It's very simple. It's very peaceful. And it only drops the truth in the perfect place where it's needed. You're not an encyclopedia with wisdom, but you're open to the wisdom because there's nothing else. And there's nothing competing because the knowing has been recognized for what it is. Can you walk in the world without knowing? Yes, you can. But thank God, it's gently letting go deeper, deeper, deeper until you realize there's nothing left. And you're just all love. But at the same time that you're letting go of the mind, you're opening your heart. Because there's nothing to defend. There's nothing to protect anymore. And everything becomes exquisite. Every response you make is made by what you think you are. So just this, every response that you make is made by what you think you are. So that gives you this beautiful place that you can look at your responses of anything, and it will tell you of yourself. And that becomes your mirror, which is so wonderful. Now, what the ego would do with that mirror is say, I don't like this. I don't want a mirror. I want to tell the mirror what's going on. I don't want a mirror. I don't want to look under the knowing and see what's going on. Dive as deeply as you possibly can. At least have the intention of diving, even if you're not a good diver, like you're not getting up on the tallest diving board, but you have the intention to dive, and you dive into, I want to see what is in my way. I want to see it. I want it to be like in bright light so I can really see it, so I can make a choice. Do you have that within you that says, I want to see this? I want to expose it. Not because it's evil or horrible, but because it's made up. I want to see what's in my way. And that's the journey of learning. That's the journey of healing, is the willingness to show me, please. I really want to see what's in my way. I want to be free of all the stuff that I've made up. And I need help. I need help to see what's in the way. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving. Nothing is beyond you. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving. There's nothing to get. God does not have something held back from you that isn't already you. You are the complete light of God. You're not going to get something from God that's going to finish you up. You already have everything of love within you. But nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving. So if you're fearful, where's it going to go? Where is it going to? How are you going to? You can't sweep it under the rug. Except we do that sometimes. But it's the willingness to ask for it to really be shown to you. So what if in this moment there was a calling, like, everybody get into the middle of the space and let go of everything and want to see the fear of what you believe about yourself. I want to see it. I want to see it because I want the truth. And my faith says, show it to me. Show it to me so that I can be healed. That was my prayer. There's beloveds all the time that say, how did you traverse this journey? I want to see it. I want to see the lies that I've made up. I want to see the confusion of my mind so that it can be healed. I want to see everything that I think I know that doesn't serve me, and I want it to be brought to the light. I'm taking no prisoners. I want to see it. Why do I want to see it? Because there was enough faith to realize that that's where the healing had to be. Ruthless. I plant my banner in the truth of God. I thank God for everything that I receive. I thank God for everything that is offered in every moment. I thank God that the past was not real. I thank God that everything that I knew about everybody was a mistake, that I made it up. And that in that willingness was a tremendous gift of offering to everyone that I thought I knew. Because every single one of everybody that I thought I knew, I made up. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a clue who they were in truth. And the only way that I could see them in truth was to have the lies exposed. To see the made-up stories that I made up about everybody. Not in condemnation, but in reality. I wasn't condemning. I wasn't being condemned. I was actually being lifted out of the mud into the light because I was willing to see what I had made up about self and everything and everyone. Because I didn't want to be the slave anymore to those lies and play the game. To play the game of allegiance to what? Allegiance to lies that I had made up. Didn't want to do it. Without illusions, and this is all that's being brought to the light, is illusions. It's all made up. Without illusions, there can be no fear, no doubt, and no attack. So wouldn't you want to bring the illusions to the light so that you can be free of all fear and all doubt and all attack? Because you wouldn't be attacking yourself anymore, because you brought it to the light. How many times a day is there a spark of fear that gets stirred up? In honesty, it's probably a lot. If it was anything like the journey I walked through. Those little twinges of, ugh. Where do those come from? They come from the illusions that are made up in the mind. That's all that they're coming from. And what a beautiful element to be able to just say, I don't want this anymore. I want to be free of everything I made up. Now it's a big shift, because for most years, what has been occurring is the belief that it was happening from the outside. If they would stop, I would be fine. I know it's them that's done it to me. And then when there's a realization, oh wow, it's in my mind. It's my illusions that are beating me up. It's my illusions that are driving me crazy. Well, I'm happy to want to see them all. Because God promised that you could see them all. You could see them all and be healed and free. Not that you have to see them all, but you have to be willing to see them all. Nobody's going to show them all to you. That's a whole other incarnation. But you have to be willing to say, God, whatever I made up, I'm willing. I'm willing to see it now, and I'm willing to be free of it. Show me. Please. I'm willing. The father of illusions. Now there's a term you don't hear very often. The father of illusions is the belief that they have a purpose. And yes, we do believe that they all have purpose. They have a purpose, that they serve a need and gratify a want. So it would be kind of like going to detox, like from an addiction, because the ego is an addiction. And the father of illusion is the belief that they have a purpose. That purpose was developed in all these lifetimes as viable, but they really don't. And that becomes the big hoax. But the big hoax is not that you were duped into believing that illusions had a purpose, but that now you can actually let them go. And that it's finally clear, oh, I believed they had a purpose. I believed in my identity. I believed that it would somehow protect me or save me. But now I'm seeing so clearly because all the teachings point to the same thing. I made it up. I was the father of the illusion. I was the maker of the illusion. And now I can let it go. I can be free of everything that I thought I made. And why did I want them again? What did I believe that they gave me? I wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit into the world and belong in, wow, you really fit in. You fit in really, really well. But inside, I never fit in. And nobody ever fits in. That is the grand master of all illusions, is that you will never fit in. Because the ego, by its nature, is about separation. It's about being separate and without. So everywhere you look to fit in doesn't work. Even though the fantasy is there that you will, but it doesn't. And when you come home to the truth of your being, then finally you know what home is, and that you belong. You belong with God, because that's your true oneness. The light that you are, the love that you are, the perfection that you are, finally is embraced, really embraced. Perceived as purposeless, they are no longer seen. How easy is that? Take away their purpose, and they're no longer seen. You're no longer the slave of illusions. Healing does not have to be difficult. It truly doesn't. Resistance to it, yeah, that makes it more difficult for sure. And we all have had that. But it truly doesn't serve any purpose. So I ask the question, in this grand scheme of illusions, what do you think you are? Who do you think you are? It's a question that is very important to ask, because in the world, everyone is expected and rewarded for having an identity. Like, the more you can identify with being a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, whatever you think is an identity. And then beyond that, the side ones that go along with it, of I'm a good person, I know how to do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. But really, really at the center, you're the light of God. And none of those identities can be taken with you. And it's not that you can't offer love through them, but if it's not love being offered, and it's just the vehicle for that love, the instrument of that love, every element of what you offer into the world is to offer love. It's the purpose of everything. Can you be a doctor and offer love? Absolutely. Are there very many? Probably not so many, but the doctor doesn't come first. The love comes first. The doctor is the instrument that carries that love. So then it doesn't matter. Are you a doctor? Are you a janitor? Doesn't make any difference, because the same love is being offered. And it's all perfect. Am I anything? No? Okay, but I still offer love. It's just about love. When the question is asked, how do you identify yourself? What is it that comes? This is also looking at the illusions and letting the light shine on everything. Who do I think I am? What is it all for? I'm here to love. That's it. That's the whole purpose. To become that love, to be love, and offer love. It becomes so simple. It is essential that you seek freedom quickly, because you must emerge from the illusion and conflict if you are to bring peace to other minds and hearts. It is essential that you seek freedom quickly, because, not because there's a pressure, but because there are all these beloveds waiting for your peace and your love. Because you are the messenger of God's creation. And to free yourself quickly is just saying, yeah, okay, come on, I want to see it all. I want to see it all. I don't care what it is. If I made it up, I want to see it. If the Holy Spirit decides not to show it to me, that's okay, but I'm willing to see it so that I can recognize what's true, what's not. Only love. Only love. Can the gift of truth to those enslaved in fear carry you all the way into the journey of love itself? Yes. When you say, I want truth, am I speaking truth? Is this truth that I'm speaking? Or what am I making up? Your commitment to the truth of love and the surrender of all knowing has no equal in the world. This is the most magnificent gift that you give to yourself and to humanity, is the gift of truth and the willingness to ask, is this helpful? I'm here only to be truly helpful. Is I don't want to hide. I don't want to hide in what I've made up and play a game. There's nothing more painful than the place within that is fearful of healing. And everybody carries it in one way or another. The fear of healing says, I am hanging on to what I know so that I don't have to deal with this fear. But the fear is made up purposefully to convince you to not let go. And love is saying, come on, let go. And question what you're believing in. Because then you are a divine participant in your own healing. I know I've told this story before, but at one time in the journey, my teacher was leaving for about 6 weeks, and I was so excited that he was leaving because I was thinking about all the things that I could do while he was gone, like regular life. I could go shopping, I could go to the movies, I could go to dinner, and when he was there, I was in the journey of remembering. And I was like really kind of happy that he was leaving. And all of a sudden I caught myself and I went, wait a minute. I'm happy he's leaving when this is the choice that I made to be called to the journey of love. And this is God's calling me. And now I'm happy that my teacher is leaving. What am I, 2 years old? This was my choice. I didn't want him to leave. Not that I didn't want him to leave, but I wasn't happy that he was leaving. I wasn't happy to go back into the world and play an ego game for 6 weeks. What would be the point? And it something opened that said, you're not a child. You're choosing this. You're choosing the journey of love that God has called you to. And if you're choosing it, then wouldn't you like give everything to it? Instead of pretending that some teacher is forcing you to give up everything. He wasn't asking to give up anything. But I had made up a whole story about his being the parental decider, and I was just the child that was forced to come along. No, I wasn't the child that was forced to come along. I was the clear being that was called to remember. And it was breathtaking, the freedom of that. That God was my passion. God was my devotion. God was my everything, that I only wanted to remember the truth. And I thanked God for the teachers that were sent to me. And didn't want them to leave so that I could be back in my old identity again. The ego plays all kinds of games that are painful. That was one of them. But I had 100 more that all had to be let go. The prayer, let me not be your critic, Lord, and judge against you. Let me not distort your creation into a sickly form. I ask you to bless my sight today. Today I choose to see a world I have forgiven, in which I see the light of Christ in everyone. I ask for nothing but the truth. Today I will not engage in dreams of the ego. Today I give to you. Let me not be your critic and judge against you. Nobody would think that they were being God's critic or judge against him. But every time you choose your knowing, it's what we do. Every time there is knowing, it's basically saying I'm judging against God, because the knowing has nothing to do with love. It's made up. And it doesn't have any value or purpose other than to hold an ego together that is ready. In your true awareness is ready to be let go. Thank God. Thank God. How deceived was I to think that what I feared was in the world instead of in my mind. It's again, all of us have, at least I certainly did, every time I would have fear about something, I would think that it was something outside. It was such a blessing to learn that all the fear was inside, because then I had a choice. But imagine that you react to something and instead of having a reaction, you would actually be going, wow, I made up a doozy this time. What a liar I am. What a maker of mischief I am. I'm scaring myself with what I think I know. That's impressive. But the great thing was, it's not outside. I don't have to be worried about anything outside. Everything's just made up in my own mind. It's like standing in a mirror and going, oh, at yourself and scaring yourself. It makes no sense. But now you can heal because all the fear is in the mind. It doesn't come from any place else. And it's made up from the past. And it's offering you, when you see that fear, oh, wow, I could heal all the past right now. I could, because it's all in my mind. And I don't want to hold anyone prisoner anymore of my imaginings. I want to be free, and I want everyone to be free. And I want to remember love. It just becomes so easy. I brought one more. I've read this before, but it felt called for again. Before you speak to me about your spiritual path, first show it to me with how you treat others and how you see others. Before you tell me how much you love God, show me in how much you love all of His beloved children. Before you preach to me of your passion for your faith, teach me about it through your compassion for all relationships. In the end, I am not as interested in what you have to tell or sell as in how you choose to live and give love. This is one of these beautiful teachings to me that just says, oh, I'm a little tilted. I need to align. Who am I blessing today? And what are my thoughts today that are serving love? Because it's all that there is. If I could reach in and open every heart and clear every mind, it would be such a blessing. I would be happy to serve that. But the choice is always within each beloved. And the way can be pointed to, and I can embrace every beloved that I possibly can with as much love as I possibly can, which is unlimited. And yet the choice is still within. How many masters have come? How many more? Until every beloved has remembered. Gladly coming to serve. But you have also the calling of that love. to bring that love to every beloved. And it is through that love, through that healing, that you offer healing to everyone. I must love. I must love completely. That is the prayer that stimulates the heart so deeply. And it speaks to every element of your being. You are the light, you are the love, you are the truth. And it's all of God. Thank you, God, for filling this sanctuary with blessings and grace. Thank you, God, that only love is real. Thank you, God, that I was mistaken. Thank you. Only love is real.